Wonderful Thursday morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at. Welcome and thank you for tuning in. Let's go ahead and jump into the market right away and see what we're seeing here, or see if we can get an idea of what might be going on. We can see, for the most part, the profile is sort of forming a P early on this morning, which is just really telling us that most likely shorts are covering down here at the low of balance. Um, so we can see basically we've had, balance. This is the ninth day that we're spending inside of balance. Overnight inventory was pretty mixed, right? We got some overnight inventory trapped long. Overnight inventory started to sell off towards the open. We looked below a little bit, got down to about that 86 level, popped back up above our 101.75, and then the market peaked up above the settle, put in a poor high during B session, as you can see right here, and then sold back down below yesterday's low and has since got back inside yesterday's range during C period, leaving behind a C high that's mechanical right off the settle, a B high that's poor right off the A high, so a mechanical high and a mechanical high on C and a mechanical high at the B high as well at the high of day. The reason I think that this is probably shorts covering is I think a lot of people were getting short yesterday. They start to realize that we're not going to be getting down to these levels. You could kind of notice with the tempo this morning, we kind of got down here and then just started to just immediately see shorts cover. So they started to give up on this dream target of 77.70 or 40.77.75, me included, right? I was short this morning, got down here. I actually ended up only being able to cover for a couple of ticks because I didn't take profit. I thought it was gonna keep going. I wasn't able to identify that short covering fast enough, and it got me to give some back to the market. But that's how life goes. Can't be just expecting to win every single day. Hey, 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 good morning, Pop. Let's get after it. Morning, Trin. Oh, let me post the top here. What do you want? Discord. All right, I just want to get that posted real quick. Get back to it. So what's interesting today, and let me pull this over. We're looking at the internals here, right? We're seeing the advanced decline line way down here, 1300. We're seeing the vol, the breadth is pretty far down. We're seeing the tick is fairly mixed, right? You can see the weighted sectors are kind of back and forth, kind of choppy. We can see the sectors up here. We've got information technology, consumer discretionary, communication services, consumer staples, energy and real estate green, and then healthcare, financials, industrials, materials, and utilities red. So a mixed bag here. The breadth is -4 to 1 on the NYSE and only 1 to 1 on the NASDAQ. So basically, this is just telling us if we flip over to this and look at the S&P 500, everything is red except for our big name players, right? Apple being red still too, but Tesla's green. You can see Tesla's up 5%, and see that. That's so annoying. I didn't get a chance to do that one either. Um, And let's see, I wanted to look at those real quick. We talked about some Tesla plays yesterday. If we started to get an outside move, it's Tesla still stuck in balance for the most part, so not really anything crazy here yet, but let's the trade. What we were looking at, what, 780 calls yesterday, I think, right? Yeah, damn. So those calls that we were looking at yesterday, the ones that were $1, are now worth $6. At the bottom yesterday at the close, that weak ass close. No way to know for sure though, right? So we've broken outside of the previous day's range again. We're starting to look below again for the third time. We've got value overlapping to lower, and price is extending to the way down. Um, in reality, I would say we're still probably inside this A session. So today's very reminiscent of what happened yesterday when we just kind of sat around all day and didn't break the A session until a little bit later in the day, and then finally got that down move after that inventory was basically late momentum traders just got trapped long. They liquidated, and then we're just seeing these late shorts from yesterday cover down here is kind of what it seems to me, right? If we had some real momentum or some real supply, they would push past these lows down here. It wouldn't be very hard to break these lows. And if we're looking at volume comparatively, we're about even 1% down from yesterday. Starting to see some buyers step up here. The offer is like the 0350, but we're right at that 4101, right? That 4101.75 is a key level. Getting close to that open, start to see a little bit of short covering right there, close to the open. Morning, Patrick. Oh, I need to wake up. Run to the store and get a energy drink. Today is one of those days, right, where you've got to be careful because we're within balance, and so if some supply comes in, we could really flush these lows. But you also don't want to be getting short at the low because of this responsive buying that's been happening down here at the low of balance. So it's a really kind of tricky day, and it will pretty much remain a little bit tricky as we continue to be inside balance, right? Until the market really decides to pick a direction, it's gonna be fairly tough. Um, One thing that would not surprise me, and let me pull this chart over so we can look on the daily a little bit easier. You could see I drew a bunch of trend lines last night to see if we could find anything. We're still sticking within this one. But so there's like this little, uh, we've been quietly making lower highs and we've been quietly making higher lows, and we're just starting to kind of condense into this area around this monthly balance low. We do have, if we let's get rid of the we do have kind of like some weak parts of this structure here, right? This grab a box. If we go in here, there's really not much structure in this area, right? So I wouldn't be surprised to see us extend this balance a little bit lower and then hold here. And this will be kind of an opportune moment for buyers to have to step up and hold this area. If not, we start eating into what I would consider some single prints on a daily level, right? Single daily prints, which is not really like a concept in the book, but just more of an abstract concept. But we start to get into this level down here that really starts to bring the fear back, right? Because we balanced, couldn't break up. We tried to break up, failed, balance lower, right? Look below, fail, trend up. So now if we look back down, we're starting to look to see where this, the balance is and start to get back into this level, and that opens up this 3960 level, which I know is a fairly decent way down, but we just can't rule it out thinking that it's not possible, because it definitely is. Yeah, there's no real direction today. Not yet, at least. We've been kind of like go to the lows, fade back to the top, go to the highs. Only thing is that's kind of leaning me more on the downside today. One, we're below yesterday's range, values overlapping to lower. We put in a poor high, we're pretty far away from that poor high, and the breadth is 6-1 on the NYSE and 2-1 on the Nasdaq. And so, if we get some of these bigger names, these bigger tech stocks start to roll over, that can bring the market down, because we know that's pretty much the only thing that's really holding us up. Microsoft's coming down here a little bit. Google, why is it including all that? Google's coming down a little bit as well. Tesla's coming down to that 750 level, and this 750 level is a pretty key level here for Tesla. So coming down past that low, testing that A excess. So this is where we saw a bunch of shorts cover earlier today. Now let's see if this time they're going to have enough supply to go down there and look to test that 77.75 low. So pretty decent amount of short covering coming there, about 10 points off of that, close to about like 8 points off of that. Did anyone Sierra chart? If you guys are on Sierra charts, did you guys update and stuff changed? Because I updated yesterday and some of my colors changed. My DOM, I had to change everything back this morning. It was annoying as shit. So let's see, the target here is probably that 4100, 4101. Remember, we do have our level 4197 to 4101.75. This being the level that we kind of like my level where I don't want to be getting long below it and I don't want to be getting short above it. I know it's below the previous day's low, but it's just kind of one of those levels, and we've kind of seen it today that when we get above it, you start to see shorts start to cover because it starts to get so close to that previous day's low. And then the same thing below it, we start to get below it, start to see longs liquidate because we start to get far away from that previous day's low. So just kind of has been a pretty decent level to pay attention to, and it happens to be our monthly balance low as well. And we'll go over to Bitcoin. We see Bitcoin's value is pretty much overlapping after having that basically just, classic Asia session sell off on the 7th. Yesterday we had kind of a fake sell off and then it rallied, but it didn't really go anywhere, back up to that weekly VWAP pause, and then just kind of back down into value, still maintaining its excess and didn't break the previous day's low. So still kind of holding. And then if we look at Bitcoin on a bigger scale, we can see, we remember, right, we were in this big balance area. We called it like this. We're right back in there. We had this look above, fail, eventually traded below, looked below, failed, look above, failed, came back in, looked above again, failed, came back in, right? Looked above again, failed, came back in. So the key thing here is to see where value is developing. Value, if we were to combine these, right, is in the upper half of our balance zone on Bitcoin, right? And our balance zones are a little bit different on Bitcoin. They're just a little bit bigger just because of how just because of the range really on Bitcoin. It's just a lot bigger range and just a different market really. So the balance zones are going to be a bit different. But we are seeing value start to continue to respect this, little trend as it's going up. So as long as value keeps forming higher, the key value above this 30K or 3,800, almost 3,100, I guess, or 31,000, volume above that puts these highs back into the fold and, possibly look for that to go. Tomorrow, going into tomorrow, right, we have that PMI number coming out, which will basically let us know if the US inflation rate has peaked or if we are still going in. It could tell us that we're in the later stages of recession, and maybe we've been in a recession for a while and we're already past the turning point. It could come out higher and could tell us that inflation hasn't peaked and it's still going up. And if that's the case, there's going to be some other things that people have to do to combat that, right? People being Powell. Would you say, could we look at Link? Yeah, of course. Take a peek. Link. Let's see if this one loads on Link. Sometimes it's so far today, what I would say Link looks like is some short covering, right? Here's the US Open, it looks like. And so far we've just been kind of short covering up here. We do have weak references back here. Because it looks like there's a little bit of single prints here. Yeah, so you have a little bit of single prints up here, that 9537. So if we scroll back to where price is at. Oh no, I guess it filled those in. Never mind. Single prints are up a little bit higher. My bad, I drew that wrong spot. Was it these ones? Or was that where I just drew it? Yeah, it was. There is a bit of a gap up here though. tiny, but the gap's at. And this, I mean, this is just weak structure here, so it makes sense if we're trying to fill this in here, trying to fill in back weak structure. The key here, though, because we know there's a seller up here, and there was a seller here at one point, or this was a bit of a liquidation, right? A little bit too short. We bounced, so this kind of gives an opportune moment, especially as Link is just kind of settling in this area, gives this seller an opportunity to move down to sell it again to try to look to get back down into this lower balance here. For me on Link, I like the opportune to go with a breakout. If this thing gets above, I think that could be a good trade because there's really not a ton of resistance up here. Yeah, we do have some support, but most of that move down was just liquidation, and it was from up here. So if this seller doesn't move down, that's where they're going to be lurking at. So that's where the volume's going to be at, and the market probably trickle back up to that level. I'm not saying that's just going to break out and go, but there's going to be opportunity as it looks like people in Link have gotten a little bit short. D's going towards that low of A here. Let's see if they're going to get that low. We got 329 contracts traded on that low. They all traded on the bid. So there goes the low. See if they're gonna just by one tick. Oh no, never mind. That's a double. That's the exact same tick. Double R, what's up? How's it going? The breath is picking up here, guys. So this is one of those times where it's like, okay, I don't want to be buying below that 4101, right? That's why we have these levels. It's just, I mean, it could rebound, right? Definitely could. The tempo's slow. It looks weak. We're seeing the 1,000 pinned at the low, but we're not really breaking the low. But the breath is just telling us, I mean, look at everything's rolling over. Look at our market watch starting to flip basically to red. The only thing holding on is Tesla. And that's just, because of the, probably because of the Neo earnings, to be honest. Because Neo had good earnings today. Oh, I made a 390-minute chart too. To give us the market hour daily bars. There goes the low. Like I said, you don't want to be buying that low when the breath is just screaming to the upside. Target here is going to be that T2 low, that 77.75. If Bitcoin breaks that low, probably decent odds we come back down to this 29,731. point of control for 2 days, and then a very weak spot in the profile yesterday. Basically just kind of telling us that they had already done their business there. You see the do the business right above this level, which is where most of the business was done those previous couple of days. So they had said, okay, we've done enough business here, let's just move it. And then they moved it higher. Lost 3 trades in a row this morning? Damn. What were you trading? Bitcoin? Yeah, it's pretty choppy today. It was back and forth. Decent little bounce right there. Back up to where this offer started at, which was 89.50. Says your website is expired. I think it is, to be honest. I haven't checked it. Let me see. Oh, maybe it is, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to ask James. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I don't really do the website stuff. What are you looking for on the website, bro? Oh, excuse me. There's really not anything on the website. So the reason we had the website was so people could sign up for the boot camp. The boot camp is done and over with. It's recorded. And I mean, that's pretty much it, I guess. We did a live trade room, a paid live trade room for a very short time, and I just kind of canceled it because it ties me down too much, and the whole reason I do this is to have the freedom to do what I want to do whenever I want to do it. And so by asking you guys to pay for a trade room obligates me to be there every single day, not only because it's the right thing to do, but because of monetary reasons. And it's just not something that I wanted to commit to. And then I didn't want to be one of those people who's like, oh yeah, and then just like not there all the time, right? And I was going through a bunch of health issues and stuff. Yes, exactly. So these streams have replaced the trading rooms. Exactly. I just decided to just put it out free. We run a Zoom, but the Zoom is with our like original members. That way, if they need to ask questions and they're not easily able to ask questions on their, like through text, they can just talk it. But we get good conversations going. That's kind of the key. That's what I like, is good conversation. Nothing beats a good conversation. You guys know what I mean? Bitcoin has been in a tough spot for me to form a bias over the last couple of days. Yeah, well, it's just it's in a bigger balance area too. So it's just kind of, I mean, I think everything is just kind of waiting on tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, at least for a decent move. If we don't get that breakout of balance tomorrow, then we might get more balance into next week, and everyone is just holding their breath until the Fed next week. But tomorrow should give us some real insight with that PMI number. Today, there's a little bit of downside too, especially during the later stages of the Globex session because of the ECB news. They're talking about how they're going to have to increase rate hikes for some reason. I'm not sure. This Discord is also empty. I don't know. So there's a different Discord. Let me send you the invite, my friend. So this is the link. That link in there is I don't think it works. That Discord link underneath of the oh, it didn't replace the bottom one. I gotta ask James how to do that too. But here's the right Discord link, Michael, if you want to check it out. Just make sure when you jump in there, you're positive and respectful. We're not trying to, you know, everyone's on a different part of their journey becoming a risk manager, so we don't need to get in there and just start, shitting on people when they post stuff that we might not agree with. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know why it's not posting those links. Oh well. I'll ask James and see if he can figure it out. I'm not a genius at this. Well, James, the issue that I'm having is that if you look at the link or like look at the whatever it's called, you're just here to learn. Oh, you're in this Discord? Okay, cool. Yeah, it's not oh, I mean, there's just not a lot of people asking questions. Normally we just chill during the cash session and then that's it. A chat channel? Let me see. What's your name in the Discord? Let me see. Is your name Michael in the Discord? But yeah, James, the issue I'm having, if you look under the description of the video, it says like pirate traders or whatever from when we did that co-stream, but I don't know how to get it to just change. So yeah, trading that range, yeah, double R, that trading that range high and range low would have been decent. The only thing is just it's such a hard thing to do because the trust is not there. Oh, you have the channels now? Okay, cool. Okay. User error. All right, well that's good. Glad that's working now. Yeah, and I cleaned up a lot of the Discord, so like it should be pretty easy to navigate. So like if there's things that you want to bring up or anything, just click on one of the things. There's people always chatting about crypto. I know Kevin and Poke and a couple others are pretty much always in there chatting about crypto. These buyers might be overextending themselves a bit here. Careful. Oh, I do see the Twitch, Greg. Thank you for the stream. Do you know or how I could receive an alert when it begins? Yeah, I'll try to set up a I'll try to set up a bot that posts it automatically. Normally I just post it, but I could just tag at everyone. I try to not tag at everyone in everything because then it just becomes, fucking chaos. But um my affiliation with Pirate Traders, I don't have any affiliation with Charles. We just are like-minded people, and you know, one of our members uh is or knew about Charles and said, "Hey, you guys should do a stream together." So I sent Charles an email and said, "Hey, we got similar styles. You seem like a cool dude. You want to do a co-stream? We can just chat. Give people some insight on why the things we do and what we do and what we look for, and certain things like that. Certain things that have helped us in our careers as traders, or risk managers, as I call it. That's pretty much it. You know, just acquaintances." Sebastian, good morning. I was in the grocery store and the live stream opened in my pocket. All of a sudden, there's just me, just hello. You've been watching Charles during the open? Yeah, he is. He's super just chill. Yeah, I like that too. You're from the crypto side. Given the recent correlation with ES, I'm getting up to date on how to trade and read the ES. Well, welcome. Yeah, I mean it's definitely different for sure. Depending upon where you trade crypto at. Are you trading on like Bybit or something? And are you trading leverage? A lot less information. So are you Bitcoin Brad? Yes, that's me. That is me. You could trade the US. You could trade the ES in the US with Sierra charts. That's what I'm using. That's a program you see on the left. You can trade it with NinjaTrader. You can trade it with. I mean, there's a ton of platforms and a ton of things to get out and into it. Attest and EXO trading on Bybit. How do I read open interest? So the open interest comes out at the end of the day. It's not like it is for crypto where you can get the open interest right away. And so it doesn't have the play, or it's not really something that I'm monitoring intraday. More just look at it at the end of the day. XO shared out Bybit, yeah, that's what I was doing for a while. Yeah, and even open interest on crypto is not something that I really track. So where do I read trap traders? So the key here to understanding the market profile, and I assume that you have a decent understanding of market profile if you're using exo charts. The key here to find the trap traders is to use excess, right? That's what excess is kind of representing. Um, you know, it's showing us at the lows or at the highs when we're putting in this excess, you know, if these late momentum traders trying to catch these breakouts are getting trapped. And we can kind of see it here. I mean, honestly, I think this was more short covering than anything right here, the short covering. So we got down here, not really many people willing to move down to sell the market. Shorts started to cover, market started to rebound. We come back into where most of the volume's at, right? VPOC up here, start to get sucked back into this tractor beam of the point of control, right? We just came pretty much right back up to that open. Some sellers moved in and sold down that open around the 96 level, coming back down to where we see all this volume. And now we're in, you know, kind of what I refer to as a half pipe, just a very tight one here. And if we get, you know, above this 97, which is that previous low from the third, we have a resistance up to 4101. The market will have an opportunity for sellers to come down and short that. If they do not, the target will end up becoming that 4105 quarter back inside the previous day's range. Thanks, Sebastian. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you can catch it online too. 897, what's up, bro? How's it going? So we got 3 minutes um left in this period. And so the key here as we get into this period is to see what these buyers do or what these sellers do only into the end of this period, right? We have mechanical levels above, right? C high mechanical, B high, poor high. We have decent excess. We saw where the shorts covered down here. Supply would have taken us down to this 77, 75. Still wasn't able to take us down there. So now that we're going back the other way, we watch the VPOC above the VPOC, then we watch our resistance zone, right? 97 to 101. And then that previous day's low. A lot of times when we're getting close to the end, right, we see traders not really willing to get into a position right at the end of this period. Well, most likely probably just a little bit of chop until this 3 minutes is up and we get a next session in. Got it. So you only read excess at the edge of the day profile. You can't read excess within the profile. So you want to long a 618 retrace within the daily profile. You can't see excess. No, I'm not sure what you mean, Michael. Can't read excess within the profile. I mean, there's different. So the profile is a very nuanced thing, right? It doesn't give you these exacting you know, buy signals. There's no arrows that say oh, here's the buy and here's the sell. You know what I mean? Where do I read market buys and sells? The volume is this profile here. This is the volume. You're talking about like an order flow? I don't think I don't think you really need order flow. And if you're still beginning and you're not, if you haven't been consistent without the order flow, I don't think you should be using it, to be honest with you. The order flow is a tool uh, to help kind of dig a little bit deeper and maybe get a little bit more precise or more exacting. But if you are looking for like that order flow chart, it's just not necessary. Basically what we're seeing here is I have the volume dictated in different levels, right? Blue being the lowest, white being, or we're to start at the top, right? Red and pink are the high, white is second, blue is the low, okay? And so it's just all aggregated into one. I don't really look at delta um, for the profile. I don't think it's really necessary, right? Because it doesn't matter necessarily if it trades on the bid or the ask, because you don't know if that's actually a market buy or sell or who's being aggressive. That's what we're trying to figure out. And so what happens is you start getting all this information, open interest, order flow, market delta, blah, blah, blah. But you forget about the actual auction process. And that's what we're tracking here. We're understanding the auction process. And so as we're going through the auction, we're paying attention to what is happening inside the auction. And we do that with time and volume. Um, and you know, when we get volume, or when we, let's say like right here, we're coming back up to this area. So if we start to see an influx of volume, here comes E session. If E session all of a sudden bids step up and then boom, 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 they just start, lifting the offer, lifting the offer, lifting the offer, and the market doesn't retrace, then we can see that buyers are being a little bit aggressive. And then the same thing inversely for sellers, but we're really just kind of trying to track the overall auction process, right? And so it starts on, I mean, the monthly level is where we start every single day, but we can see value today is overlapping the lower, and we've got B, C, D, and I mean, E period hasn't really continued, but we're kind of one time framing lower for the last three sessions. So that's another thing we've got to take in consideration. So we'd say that's like a -2, right? We've got one time framing down, value overlapping to lower. And then, we come over here and we take a peek at the breadth. The breadth is getting worse and worse. We've got 7-1 on the NYSE, 2-1 on the NASDAQ. We can see pretty much all of our sectors except for technology, consumer discretionary, and staples are green. One thing that is interesting is that the tick is, for the most part, pinned below the zero line. Yeah, it barely close above that zero line, but it's really just getting pinned, and you can kind of see the weighted sector just getting beaten down on over here as well. So, the market does not look strong. And if you were referring to delta, like I said, I don't think delta is as important as you may think it is. And the reason being is because delta, until you understand the auction, right? Delta can become important once you understand the auction, but if you don't actually understand the auction, what does it matter if a buyer moves up to buy the ask or a seller moves down to sell the bid? What does it matter what the order trades on? It just matters the volume there, right? Um, at least in my opinion, right? Everyone's different, um, you know. So, but I really do harp on understanding the auction process before you start adding all of these tools and things that you think is going to make things easier because you haven't been having success with just the profile. Well, that's a common thing that happens to people is they start to add things because they think uh um they think that, hang on, I gotta respond to this email real quick. Okay, cool. All right, my bad. Yeah, you know, basically, I think, you know, people are always searching for the holy grail, and I really think that, you know, if I were to call something the holy grail, I would call the understanding of the auction process the holy grail, but that's something that can't really be um something that really can't be fully understood by like a book, right? I can't give you a book and you'll just, you know, read the book and know the auction process. It's like a surgeon, right? Surgeons go to school for, you know, however long they go to school for after they go to medical school to become a surgeon. um they're doing all these books, they're doing practice surgeries, right? Then they're monitoring, watching other people do surgery, and then they get to get in on the surgery a little bit, you know, maybe just, you know, hold the light for the doctor, you know, something. I'm just making a joke, but like, you know, that's kind of how it is. And then they start to get their hands dirty, and then they start to develop other habits after they learn the base of it, right? And then, you know, then they start to specialize, right? Some people will become heart surgeons, some people will become brain surgeons, some people are general surgery surgeons. Everybody has kind of a different path and a different trading style, and that's developed on our own. But it really does all start with the understanding of the auction process, and that's basically just kind of what I'm trying to facilitate here. Um, you said, well, I would say I've never traded with only the profiles. I don't have prejudice. Just after watching you comment, I feel like the ES traders are trading blind compared to what I'm used to. It is a different, yeah, different. It's different from coming over to crypto, especially because most crypto traders on the internet, you know, are not professional and don't really have a lot of professional experience, and a lot of them are like over leveraging themselves and hitting some nice trades sometimes, but really just kind of, for the most part, uh, you know, I don't want to say not really trading, um, but I want to say that most of the people teaching crypto trading online make most of their money probably from affiliate links. I mean, um, that's what I don't even just think that. I fucking know that because I know a situation where there was one person that was teaching online that supposedly was making all this money, and then all of a sudden started calling, um, you know, some people and asking for money. So, which is weird because you figure if you're hitting fucking $100,000 trades every day that you wouldn't need to call anybody and ask them for money. But what do I know? I'm not a fucking accountant, so no idea. You want to get to a level where I can trade blind. That would help you a lot. Is there a boot camp you mentioned available or replay, assuming it covers everything? No, it's free. Just jump in the Discord, bro. The boot camp is in there. It does cover all of the basics. It's not really as advanced. And like I said, the best way to understand the auction, or to start to get accustomed to the auction, is to just, as painful as it sounds, watch. It's just pay attention and watch. Paper trade, keep a journal, work on your own personal psychology. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into doing this successfully for extended periods of time. $100, Sebastian. Yeah, it's in the Discord. Just, yeah, click on that. Then that's the and then if you have questions from it, you know, I'm always down to go over things. So if you're watching it and you have a question, just write it down, ask it on the stream the next day, or just shoot it to me on the Discord. I'm pretty good at, you know, getting back to everybody. So Very interesting watching me trade. It's just different, you know what I mean? Um, Different than most people are used to, I think. The Discord, if you scroll up a little bit, there's a link. There's a link that I posted. I'll repost it. So the breadth is actually starting to pull back here a little bit. Take a look at this, right? We were about 7-1, 6-1 here on the NASDAQ or on the NYSE, 2-1 on the NASDAQ. If we just do a little quick run through here, you guys can see. So if you guys are trading equities, I figured out. I'll just make this big so I can show it to you guys. I was just kind of, you know, black holing on the internet naturally. Something that I do is um that these gamma levels, right? This is more for stocks, right? But it's just basically showing the most open interest in these stocks, like basically overlaying this map here onto the chart. And if you were interested in that, there's another a link that posts them every day on a different Discord that I found. But anyways, so it just kind of automatically shows put call levels. That's all those levels are. Those aren't necessarily support and resistance levels, just so you guys don't get confused if you see them. So Apple is below its open, Microsoft above its open, still looking strong. Google breaking out to the upside, but coming into a bit of resistance up here at the 2370. Amazon still looking weak, but it's kind of right at that put wall. So a lot of people probably selling puts down here as we still stuck within balance. And then Tesla, right, started strong, since pulled back to its open and is just kind of hanging out. Thing you find interesting is you say all this about understanding the concept of the auction, yet you can't exactly describe it and are telling others to watch. And the problem is these days everyone wants to tell others what to do, but you can't really do it. So I mean, like that's the thing. It's a nuance. You know what I mean? Because the reason you can't tell somebody exactly what to do was kind of exactly just like I was saying, right? There is no exactness in the market, and that's everybody's problem, is they're looking for something exactly. You're saying that you can't exactly describe it exactly because it's not possible, because nothing is going to trade exactly the same. The auction process isn't going to go the same every single time. I can just tell you how to understand it, or how I understand it. um but you know, it's just one of those things, you know what I mean? And that's why I say it's an abstract thing, or as Jim Dalton calls everything, a nuance, because it's different every time, right? Like, so I mean, a nuance, even today we have a poor high, and that typically is telling us that they should take out this poor high because we have good excess on the bottom. We've traded back up past the point of control, but because the trend is down, he has, or the profile has no real conviction to actually take that poor high, right? Which is why we've seen in this balance area a lot of poor highs. And that's, you know, that's telling us that, I mean, one of two things, and that's another thing, there's no way to know for sure, and nobody can tell you for sure or exactly, right? Nobody can tell you for sure that this poor high was a seller moving down to sell it. There's just no way, right? It could have been buyers just shut off, right? Same thing here. This is, I mean, the spike and then the poor high from the excess, but there's just no way um, to know for sure. Speak for myself. That's responsible. I don't know what you mean by that. Do you know what's going to happen, Orange and Code? Because if you do, that'd be cool. I'd like to get you on the stream and you could just tell us and we can just follow you. Because if you know what's going to happen, I mean, that's ideal, right? I don't know. And I don't think anybody does. And I've never really led anybody into financial ruin. So there's that. So live trade example. What are you looking for, Michael? Retrace at the 618 confluence with the monthly VWAP. So are you looking to short the VWAP? Monthly VWAP? Or this is the weekly VWAP, I'm not sure where the monthly's at. The monthly. Oh, monthly's right here. Okay. Blocks of liquidation there as well. So also midnight. Crypto face deserves that comment. What's that? What comment is that? Big sell order on the 4150 there. Where's your target? I mean, like where's your target for your profit target? So like if you're looking for a short here, this is where the monthly VWAP's at, value area high. Let's say we get a pop there and return back into value, decent short back to the point of control or opposite side of value, or a VPOC down here at 30,100. Or are you looking to target the lows? Because for me, what this is looking like, right, is here's the Asia Open. They tried to sell it down. It didn't go anywhere. So it just got bought up, got to the weekly VWAP, and they just liquidated. And now it's kind of in this B profile. Tried to break out to the upside, tried to break out to the downside. And so now the market's just kind of stuck balancing here, in between like 30,300 and 30,000 basically. In a really, really tight range for the most part. What happened to our friend Origin Code? I wasn't done feeding the trolls, guys. I wasn't done. The auction, it's called the auction market theory. It is a theory, yeah. It's mainly based upon trader psychology. Exactly. People react to context and market conditions. Yep. And that's why I always talk about how important psychology is, because if you can understand the psychology of the market, you can understand the psychology of your competitors, and you can use that to your advantage. His master pulled his chain. Given today seems like a within balance day, take profit 0.5 at the daily VWAP. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, because of how they're doing it, right? You could assume that they're taking, they're using that that monthly VWAP and daily and weekly. I just got rid of the daily VWAP because it just, it's just an extra line on the chart that I didn't want to look at. Me going deep today. Sometimes I got it, man. It's just funny. I mean, every once in a while, it's the same guy. This guy came in here before, the guy Origin, same origin code, same YouTube or whatever this is. I don't know if it's a YouTube or not, but same screen name, I guess you call it. And he did the same thing. It was like back in January, back in February or something. I just fucking trolling. Just crawled out from, just came out from under the bridge, came into our Discord and started, talking shit. It was, or not in the Discord, in the YouTube. Just probably hates that, that I don't fucking suck the market cipher down, and it just hates it. I mean, it's, yeah, he's just coming in here to talk smack, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, hey, have you checked out this? Because I've never been the person to turn away anything, right? Even when I first learned about market cipher from Ramon, he had it downloaded, and you know explained it to me for probably one day, for probably a couple of hours. We were just on Discord screen share, and and you guys know Ramon. When you talk about someone who knows market cipher, Ramon knew market cipher. Like, he studied that shit. He had it down, and you know, it just never resonated with me because it was just all lagging. You know what I mean? And then once I explained that to him and showed him how to understand the TPO, it's a little bit, a little changed his mind a little bit, right? How do I set up my TPO for the ES? You'd have to get the platform. So this one here is for Sierra charts. So if you got Sierra charts, I could just send you the template. Um, but either or, like Ninja Trader, Trade Evade. I mean, there's a bunch. 50 cents and half an hour per block, right? Pre-market, and then 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. 2 sessions per day. It just depends on the platform. But yeah. Yeah, so this is the overnight session and this is the cash session. Oh god, enough with market cipher is all lagging indicators. What do you mean? Um but yeah, I mean the sessions, well, because I'm on a different, well, yeah, this is East Coast time, so it's 9:30 to 1600, so to 4 o'clock, not 5 o'clock. And then I have at 4 and 1 second till 9:30 in the morning the next day. That's how I have it split. It's a deep subject. It is hard to explain in a nutshell because my explanation kind of makes sense, but still begs to be elaborated on. Well, and that's the thing, is that it's not it's not a X marks the spot. You know what I mean? I don't have those templates for EXO. I mean, maybe they're in the Discord, or maybe someone in the Discord still has them. Um, but yeah, I don't know if I still have them. I've changed computers since then, so I don't know if I even have it saved on my computer anymore. Notice that E highs seems mechanical as well. It's really close to that prior day low. Yeah, I don't factor that into the daily. Yeah, I just put that as Globex, the maintenance period. Yeah, the settlement. You said best save ever. Oh, Michael has templates, he says. Hundreds. The best save ever. That's awesome. Well, and that's the thing. I'm not saying that you can't use Market Cipher to be successful. Um, but what happened is plenty of people didn't understand it, and that's what happens with everything, right? Plenty of people don't understand what they're using, and then they think they know, and then they use it, and then Market Cipher had these green dots and yellow X's and all these things to give our brains that signal, right? But if you can't read the market, these signals are just going to be distractions anyways. The pink boxes are the half back of each session. And then the yellow letter within the TPOs is the open of that specific period. Oh, chart champions? I've heard of that. Yeah, that was like the chart champions team won some competition. Luis was telling me about that. There was like a crypto trading competition that they won. So that's half back. Yeah, these squares, like this square here, like you're talking about like this one, which like this square right here on E. What's up, Dan? Yeah, yeah, the half back. So it's halfway in between the high of E period and the low of E period, and then same thing on D. Yeah, it marks the half back for me. Half back can be a mechanical reference, Michael. So you'll get a lot of short-term traders that will sell or buy the half back, and that lets us know. So like, let's say the market, let's say the market impulses from here, right, and then just goes up. Well, if the impulse came off of this half back, that's kind of leading us to believe that uh, there's good odds that these traders are mechanical or were mechanical, right? And so there's good odds that that level doesn't hold through the end of the session. Half of the candle, yeah. Your boy took a decent L the other night, so just got back into the charts. Did you get caught in this, Dan? I was wondering about you actually, because I know you've been killing it lately, and then saw this, and I was just like, oh, I wonder if he's in there. I guess it was the wrong way, maybe. Oh yeah, 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 I'll post the Discord link, no problem. It's the median price point of a half-hour block. Yes. Each TPO is a half hour, 30 minutes. Darn tootin' I did. That's all right. It happens. I mean, you did so well. It's bound to happen. Losses are just part of the game. James, you mean T2? Is that what you're talking about? Because we already broke the previous day's low. I use CVD divergences on crypto, but I don't really use them on the ES. No, I do use them on crypto when I find them. I'm not like naturally searching for them, but I do like to take a peek at it. The CVD, the cumulative volume, this thing, the same thing I've always had the whole time for TradingView. F period's opening up. Caesar spent some time with chart champions, learned a lot from Daniel. They have a nice beginner learning stuff there, but unfortunately, that's not how the market actually works. Auction market theory is the real deal. I thought chart champions do. I thought chart champions do trade the profile. They should be. I mean, I imagine if you trade the profile, you teach the process, the auction process. That would make sense. Eliminate everything from my trading fibs and all that good stuff since I'm doing really, really good. Oh, some ES traders do, I'm sure. Uh, I mean, for, like, it just depends. I mean, there's so many people trading the ES, right? Such a liquid market that there's so many people trading it in so many different ways. Um, and it's just you know, it's hard to know. My intraday trader is. Oh yeah, Kevin, I'll read them. Yeah. Uh, Still can't find the boot camp within the Discord. The boot camp within the Discord is at the bottom. What's your name in the Discord? Because what I'm thinking is maybe you didn't get maybe I didn't give you a role. Sometimes if I don't give somebody a role, then they won't have access to the channels because I don't want to just get spammed with a bunch of bots. And so if like a bunch of bots join the Discord and I don't give them a role, then they can't really, you know, they can only rampage in the general chat, but they can't really rampage anywhere else. Um, so I would just have to know what your screen name is so I can check the role. Dan, thank you for the sub. Do I like point and figure charts? Yeah, I've looked at point and figure charts. And I mean, I like them. I like how they look. I think they, you know, show the price action pretty well. Dan said, in my opinion, OF isn't super great with crypto though. All it takes is for a couple of whales to move price, but there's so many different exchanges. Yeah, that's the thing that gets me about the crypto is like there's so many different exchanges and um you never know what's gonna, you know, what when one person could come in and just decide to wreck the wreck the thing. Oh yeah, that's because you're in the wrong Discord. K-Pax, yeah, K-Pax is a good dude. Yeah, K-Pax is actually I actually really liked K-Pax because he kept it real, that guy. He wasn't he wasn't like a juice drinker. Cause some people like I got on Discord, I got some fucking nasty messages from a lot of people uh when that whole market cipher shit was going down. Oh, it was funny. Even from his his brother, the fucking, what's it called, flopping grouper. Yeah, you're in the wrong Discord, Michael. I sent you the link. If you clicked on the link in the chat, it should take you to a different Discord than that one. It'd be a green Discord. That's the old Discord that you're in. A point and figure chart? So a point and figure chart, I don't know if they have them on here. Oh yeah, they do. Point and figure. So a point and figure chart. Oh, this is not deal. Let's go back to candlesticks on this one. Point and figure. So what this point and figure chart is doing, and it's, I mean, it has to do with how many ticks and reversals and things like that, but it's basically just kind of showing us the highs and the lows. It eliminates some of the noise from the profile itself, um, but you know, not really, not, yeah, it's on Sierra chart. To CC, who's CC? Oh, chart champions. Oh yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because he's actually who I learned about chart champions from. There's just a lot of different trading styles at chart champions because there's a lot of different traders, so it's not really market profile centered. And you know, for me, that's how I am, and so you know, for me, it's just not a good fit over there. Yeah, the point and figure charts will eliminate some of the noise for you. You know what I mean? You won't be getting a lot of those things. Yeah, I agree, Dan. I think the same thing. If anything, I'm kind of leaning to the downside to repair some of a little bit of the weaker structure that's below us before coming back above. But you know, if that CPI number comes out and it says that inflation has peaked, we might see everyone just be like, ah, recession is over. Fucking empty their bank account back into Apple, and then Apple just drives the market back to the upside. You know what I mean? It could just be crazy. The best thing you can do is just be patient and you know let that market confirm, and then just go with it once it confirms. You're at like 10, number 10. What's that mean, number 10? No point in having, let's say, specifically with BTC, even with that crazy move Wednesday, we didn't get a higher high. So LTF structure is still bearish. If 29,900 breaks, I'm going to be shorting so hard. Yeah, I mean that's if this, I mean even if this low breaks is 29 921, that puts this 29.7 in the question at least. Um but I mean we're definitely starting to coil just like the market is, right? You can kind of see here, um right, the market's starting to coil, and then eventually the breakout will come. And I'm in agreement with you, Dan. I think that we probably won't get any real significant move until tomorrow. Oh, I have 11 likes. You're number 10. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. From the Bybit Army. Yeah. CPI numbers come out tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Pacific time. Yeah, I could go over point figure on the ES. Let me see if they have the point figure on Thinkorswim, or I'll just pull up a new chart on Sierra charts. Let me see real quick. Okay, yeah, let me just open up a new chart then. Detach, there we go. Okay. So, could you imagine if they came out with actual numbers like 20, oh, like real interest rate numbers? Can you imagine? So let's take a peek at this. And so point figure charts can be beneficial, I think. How many days we're loading here? Data limiting. Let's load like 10 days. Okay. And so the first thing that we need to do, right, we click on the chart settings, let me drag it back up, is you'll see, your point and figure here, and then you have to pick your box size. So what this tells us is the box size in ticks, so how many ticks each candle is going to be, and then how many ticks the reversal size. So one thing that I liked when I was doing a little bit more scalping over the summer when the volatility was a lot lower, I really liked doing these 12 and 6 point figures. And the reason being is because it really gives you kind of that it's more of trending inclined, and kind of really gives you those peaks and those valleys. And let me just make figures. Okay. 30 days. I don't know. Up 13 points on 2 trades. Hell yeah, that's what's up. Okay. So we can see, I mean, we've been in really tight price action. So let's go here and let's just go 10 and 2. The market's pushing on that low right here. So each box is 10 ticks, and it's going to take a reversal of at least 2 ticks to start the new period. And so, I mean, basically with point and figure charts, it really just gives you, I mean, almost, I mean, I don't want to say exact, but it makes it a little bit easier if you're having trouble making levels sometimes. In the high volatility, I don't think they're as useful, because they can just, I mean, it can just be all over. But if you were to look at this here, and this is all the way back till the 27th, you would say that our low end is here, right around this level. You would say there's another level probably in here around this 23, 25, right? We can see, it just makes it really easy to see where the lows and the highs are at, right? Comparatively, if we were to go to our chart settings and put this on a 30-minute, of course we're going to see it really well, but on a 5-minute, right, and this is only to the 6-7. So yeah, we can find that low, but I mean, we really have to roll back and kind of do all this. So those point and figure charts is something that I used over the summer to try to basically find like really tight levels, because typically during the summer, at least last summer for sure, well, most summers for sure, but last summer was like almost agonizing. we had just really, really slow, tight days, and you had to be really careful and really play your levels. And that was just, one thing that I had found that helped me find a little bit tighter levels. The point and figure bars, I think, are used more by mathematician type people. You know what I mean? More people that are looking like for their spreadsheet so they can see these exact tops and bottoms, because that's how they do their calculations. All right, Dan, we'll catch you later, man. Thank you. If you don't have trolls, you're not doing it right. Thanks, Bob. Yeah, Peter. Yeah, I was using it a lot last summer. Yeah, and it's nice if you hook that up. Like, so when the summer comes around, if it gets slow, who knows? This VIX is just never going to go back below 20. Um, but if the market does start to slow down eventually, I like that point and figure on an order flow. So like you saw how spread out it was, and so you can just imagine, like, how much those order flow bars are going to add up to, right? And so we can it here. Well, I'll just do it real quick. Let me make a chart real quick. Chart. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Right. I agree. I don't think it's very helpful when the volatility is high. I think it might actually complicate things a bit more. So let me see if I can get rid of. Yeah, the Dom. Right, and that's another reason I'm not a huge fan of the delta, because that's basically what the Dom is showing us. And of course, you're not going to try to make a deal to lose money naturally. um so like they're trying to hide their orders, they're trying to confuse us with things like that. And so if we really just stick to, I pointed at my fucking screen, like you could see me pointing, if we stick to the profile, um we can really eliminate a lot of that nonsense in this high volatility. When the volatility subsides, I'll probably bring back my order flow chart so we can start to get more exacting references. But the thing here is, like, if we worry too much about exactness with this high volatility, we'll just get fucking smacked constantly. It'll be no fun. Yeah, psych. Yeah. Background coloring. So here's that same chart, right? Where we'll Oh, this is only showing us a day. Let's load those days again. Chart settings. What do we have? There we go. Okay, here we go. So let's jam this thing in like we were. And so what this can kind of show us. So here's these point and figure charts. I guess we're not really, let me, I don't know if we can do it with the volume profile, but we could do it like this. Let's see. Let's go number bars, let's go settings, column 2. Or we could just do column 1. Let's just do we'll do volume percentage, and we'll do a volume profile. Okay, that's fine. So basically with this point and figure chart, what we can see, I mean, never mind the color doesn't really matter, right? But when we zoom out like this, it makes it like super difficult with these number bars, which is kind of weird. On constant. Anyways, so it's just not going to show us a nice profile like that. But basically what we can see, right, is when we get down to these lows, there's not really a lot of selling, right? And this is at 11:20. This is an hour later at 12:20. There's not really a ton of selling at these lows, and this just gives you a more you know, a different way to look at it. If we're looking at or if you're looking at individual, like if you were to look at, let's go to um, our 30-minute chart here, let's say. Market's ranging pretty much in between this 4100 and 4081, the low. So when we look at it on a 30-minute chart, right, it's just not as much because it doesn't have those reversals in there. So we still see clusters of volume here, and then, you know, big clusters here, but you can still see the break, but you can't see it as clearly as you can on that point and figure chart. I mean, order flow with the volatility is really difficult beast to use, um, especially on something that's so liquid like the ES. I haven't looked at a 30-minute order flow chart in a while. Yeah, see, I mean, it's just a tough. It's just something more that I'll use if the market starts to slow down. The volatility really just is, like you said, Peter. Just it's like that old man with the dollar on a fishing line. Like, ooh, you almost got it. That commercial. Yeah, of course. Range bars on the Sierra charts are helpful when the market is active. Yeah, yeah, I like a nice like 20 range or 10 range bar chart to find turns, because um range charts give nice peaks or nice like turning points as well. Gonna go through the boot camp, Brad. Happy to have stumbled upon you tomorrow for the fireworks. Cue tomorrow for the fireworks, yeah. Um yeah, let me know if you have any questions about the boot camp. You're starting to see a big offer come down on that 93, 300, and ooh, they just pulled 100 lots off of it actually. I wonder if I can move my pulling and stacking column. I think I can. I will. Ugh. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need an energy drink. So back up to this 91 or 92 level, excuse me. This 92 level has been a fairly big level. We've seen a lot of selling come in off of this level. So if we can climb above it, that target up, we were looking 98.75 to that 4100, really 97, I guess, to 4100. But they keep trying to smash this price down a bit here. Starting to see some bids step up. The VWAP is at 98 quarter too, so right there below that 4100. Let me I just downloaded that picture, Peter. Let me pull it up. Oh, okay, I see how I see. Yeah, are you on Sierra charts, Peter? Looks like it. All right, Patrick, have a good day, man. So they're pushing back up to that open. Let's see if the sellers are gonna move down here to sell this open. There's that order sitting on the 95.50, 210 lots. It ran away right there. We're back above that open. We see the buyers hold the open. Above the 4100, if the market's able to hold that 4100, they'll start targeting that prior day lows, that 4105 quarter. And we'll really be looking for acceptance back inside yesterday's value, right? We can see yesterday's low right here brought us all the way down to that low of value, really pretty much like the whole profile. So we'll be looking for acceptance inside, the value, but also inside the previous day's range. If they're able to hold, the key will be above that 41. To me, 4101.75 is the key. Which one do you want to use later? That'll be fun. So the breadth you can see is getting a little bit less negative here. We're starting to see real estate flip to green. Breadth on the Nasdaq's about 1.79 to 1. NYSE is 5 to 1. Starting to see what looks like to me some shorts cover down here, and we might start getting some upside here. This G low is kind of mechanical right off that F open, but it's just the open and the open. You know, sometimes time just happens like that. A little bit of selling moving down on that 96 there. A lot of scalping similar to yesterday, where we saw a lot of these scalpers trying to oops, a lot of these scalpers just getting in for small pieces and then just running off. What the fuck? So they pushed it back below the open, that G high, another